They said no bullet could kill him, no noose could hold him, no jail could keep him. His name was Silas Boone, and for nearly 2 decades he roamed the frontier as the outlaw who cheated death 9 times. Some called him cursed, others believed he was blessed by the devil himself. But in the end, even legends can't outrun fate. Silas Boone was born in 1842 in Missouri, a poor farm boy with a knack for trouble. By 16, he was wanted for horse theft. By 20, he was riding with bushwhackers during the Civil War, ambushing Union patrols and learning the dark art of guerrilla fighting. The war ended, but for Silas, the killing never did. He drifted west, following the frontier's endless promise of land and lawlessness, and that's where his legend began. Not for how he lived, but for how he somehow refused to die. His first brush with death came in 1867. Caught for stagecoach robbery, Silas was sentenced to hang in Kansas. The crowd gathered, the noose was slipped around his neck and the trap door fell, but the rope snapped. Boone dropped to the dirt, dazed but alive. Before the executioner could reset the gallows, his gang stormed the square, guns blazing. They carried him off, leaving the town in chaos. From that day on, whispers spread. Silas Boone couldn't be killed. In 1870, Boone's gang was cornered in Red Rock Canyon by a posse of 20 men. Outnumbered and outgunned, Silas charged headlong into gunfire. Bullets ripped through his coat, grazing his side, shattering his saddle horn. Somehow he fought his way out, leaving 2 posse men dead. A doctor later dug 2 slugs out of his ribs. Any other man would have been buried. Silas rode again within weeks. 2 years later, Boone tried his hand at train robbery in New Mexico, but the railroad company had hired Pinkerton guards. As the gang boarded, floodlights cut through the night and rifles opened fire. Half his men fell. Boone himself took a bullet to the shoulder and another to the leg. Crawling through the chaos, he leapt from the moving train into a river gorge. Everyone swore he was dead. But 3 days later, he staggered into a frontier saloon, bloody, limping, and very much alive. Boone's luck even crossed borders. In 1874, captured by rurales in Mexico after raiding a silver caravan, he was sentenced to face a firing squad. Tied to a post, he stared down 6 rifles. The volley rang out. Dust flew. And when the smoke cleared, Boone was still standing. Only 1 bullet had grazed his arm. The commander, shaken, declared it a sign from God and released him rather than tempt fate. By 1876, Silas was experimenting with dynamite for bigger robberies. One job in Colorado went wrong when a blast collapsed the canyon wall early, burying Boone and his men in tons of rock. Searchers gave them up for dead, but 2 days later, Boone clawed his way out of the rubble, coughing blood but alive. "The devil digs me out," he joked. Boone's reputation drew challengers. In Dodge City, a gunfighter named Clay Yates called him out. At high noon, they faced off in the street. Yates fired first, striking Boone in the chest. But Boone's vest concealed an iron plate, a trick he picked up after too many close calls. While the crowd gasped, Boone returned fire, killing Yates instantly. Some claimed it was cheating. Others said it was proof Boone had no intention of dying easy. In 1877, the law finally caught up. Boone was shackled in a Texas jail, awaiting transport. But a lightning storm struck that night, splitting a tree that crashed through the jail wall. Amid the chaos, Boone slipped his chains, overpowered the guard, and vanished into the storm. The townsfolk swore heaven itself had freed him. A year later, U.S. Marshals ambushed Boone near Snake River. Outnumbered 10 to 1, he fought from behind a fallen log for hours. He was shot in the leg, his horse killed beneath him. Just as the marshals closed in, the riverbank gave way, and Boone was swept downstream. They fired into the water, certain he was gone. But days later, he was spotted riding into Montana, scarred but grinning. By 1879, Boone's body was failing. He walked with a limp, his lungs wheezed, his hands trembled from old wounds. Yet he still rode, still robbed, still fought. His 9th and final escape came in a saloon brawl. A miner plunged a knife into his chest and somehow missed his heart by inches. Boone lived again, but fate was patient. In 1881, the legend finally ended in Montana. A young sheriff named James Carver tracked Boone to a cabin in the Bitterroot Mountains. Surrounded, Boone refused to surrender. He came out firing, a shadow of the gunslinger he once was. Carver's rifle shot struck true. This time, no rope snapped, no bullet missed, no river carried him away. Silas Boone fell at last. The outlaw who cheated death 9 times became a folk hero. Some swore he had made a deal with the devil. Others said he was proof that no man could escape forever. His story became one of the frontier's great cautionary tales. You can cheat death for a while, but you can't beat it forever. Silas Boone lived wilder, rode harder, and escaped death more times than any man had a right to. But the frontier has one law no outlaw can break. When your time comes, it comes. And for the outlaw who cheated death, the end was waiting all along. If Silas Boone's tale had you on the edge of your seat, saddle up with us. Subscribe to West Side Tales for daily stories of outlaws, lawmen, and legends of the Wild West.